Hello, Teacher 5am here. Now for today's video, we're going to be looking at inverse operations. Now inverse means the opposite of. So for example, the inverse of addition is subtraction. Therefore, the inverse of subtraction is addition. And the inverse of multiplication is division. And therefore, the inverse of addition is multiplication, okay? So that's just to remind you a little bit of what inverse actually means. And we're going to be using that knowledge to help us solve this problem that I have. So get my board straight. Let's have a look. The question says this: I'm thinking of a number. After I add 5,241 and subtract 352, my number is 9,485. What was my original number? So what I'm going to do, I've got this word problem, but I'm now going to change it into a number sentence. Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm thinking of a number. I'm just going to put a question mark because I don't know yet what that number is. So I'm thinking of a number after I add 5,241. So to this mysterious number, I'm going to add 5,241. And then subtract 352. Okay, so subtract 352. My number or my answer is 9,485. So that's what the total is, 9,485. What was my original number? So this is my number sentence, something plus 5,241 subtract 352 equals 9,485. But I want to know what this original number was. So I'm going to use the inverse. I'm going to flip this number sentence around. So this time I'm going to start my new number sentence with this, 9,485. I'm going to work my way backwards now because this is the number I want to calculate at the end. So here next I have subtract 352 because I'm working from right to left now. So instead of subtract 352, I need to do the inverse, and that is to add. So I'm going to add 352. Next I have add 5,241, and I want the inverse of that. So what will I write? Will it be plus 5,241 or will it be subtract 5,241? It will be subtract because that's the inverse of addition. 5,241, and then that will give me my missing number, my original number. Okay, now just before we start tackling this kind of calculation, now I've done the inverse, I've noticed that in this number sentence I got both addition and subtraction. So what I'm going to write on the side here is a well-known phrase, BODMAS. Which I'm going to show you something that you might have heard of before. If not, this is something that you will need to remember when you're looking at calculations with more than one operation within the same number sentence. And BODMAS gives you the order of what to do, of when to do the operations. So B stands for brackets. So anything in brackets you do first. A stands for order, and that's anything to do with the powers of. Okay, so squared numbers, cubed numbers, or the power of numbers. D is for division, so you do division afterwards. M is for multiplication. A is for addition. And S is for, you've probably guessed it, subtraction. Okay, so here I've got an addition and a subtraction. So if I go down to my BODMAS, the first thing I need to do is addition. So I'm actually going to do this part of the number sentence first. 9,485 plus 352. I'm going to do this calculation down here. 9,485 plus 352, and just make sure that you've got your place value in the correct order. 5 plus 2 gives me 7, 8 plus 5 gives me 13, 3 and carry the 1 because that's 113, 4 plus 3 is 7 plus my 1 is 8, 9 plus absolutely nothing, and I could put a 0 there if I wanted to, 9 plus 0 gives me 9. So I have an answer of 9,837. So what I'm actually going to do is going to rub this part of the calculation out and put in my answer, 9,837. So all I've got left is subtraction, which you'll notice is the last thing on my BODMAS. 9,837 subtract 5,241. I'm going to do this calculation here. 9,837 subtract 5,241. And just do a few spot checks before you start your subtraction. Make sure you've got your larger number on top, and also are the digits in the correct place value. I've got my large numbers on top, definitely, because I've got 9,000s here and only 5,000s here, and I can see everything's in order. So let's have a go. 7 subtract 1 gives me 6. 3 subtract 4, I cannot do. 4 take away 3, I cannot do. So I'm going to have to rename, exchange from the 8. So my 800s will turn into 700s, and my 3 10s will turn into 13 10s. 13 subtract 4 will give me 9. 7 subtract 2 will give me 5. And then 9 subtract 5 will give me 4. 4,596 is my original number, and that's my answer. So I can rub out the question mark there and put 4,596. So there you are, everybody. That's how to use the inverse, especially with quite a tricky word problem as well. And when you have a word problem like this, the best thing to do is trying to change it to a number sentence as soon as you can. Apart from that, everyone, have a lovely day, and it's goodbye from teacher 5 AM.